All right, everybody, Jason Brown here. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. If you are a new viewer, I truly appreciate you stopping by, and I do hope that you learned something. And if you are a returning viewer, I appreciate your continued support. Now, today, if you're like me and you don't want to work the rest of your entire life and you're trying to figure out how in the world can I possibly retire, that's what the topic of today's video is about: the potential changes that the U.S. government is trying to make to the 401k retirement investment plan. That's what we're talking about today. And here we go. I'm going to share some stats and some knowledge with you. Right here, I've got my notes, and I will link in the description below the articles that I'm referencing. So if you guys want to read those in the entirety for yourselves and research it on your own, please do that. I encourage you to do that. Today, I'm just going to be talking about a few things. Now, first of all, the big problem with Social Security is that Americans are retiring later and living longer. So that's one of the problems that we're hearing in the news, that the Social Security is going to dry up or run out, or everyone's panicking, blah blah blah, the Social Security, oh no. So that's one of the biggest problems. So it says by the end of the decade, about 21% of the country's population will be 65 years of age or older, which is up from 15% in 2016. So this is from the Census Bureau. So you can see what's happening is the population is getting older. This generation of retirees, 65 and older, it's going to be a much larger number of people in that group, and those people are living longer than they were in the past. When Social Security first started, it started in 1935, and their metrics were based on a certain amount of life expectancy. So people lived not as long back then as they are now. So that's part of the problem that's happening with Social Security. So here's what's happening is that there's a new bill being introduced or being proposed by Joe Biden and the Biden administration. And it says that this bill is expected to reach Biden's desk by the end of this year, which this year is 2022, depending on when you're watching this video. And it could require most employer-sponsored retirement plans to enroll their workers automatically, making it easier for student loan borrowers to save, older workers to catch up on contributions, and it will lower costs for smaller businesses. These are the selling points that they're using to promote this bill. But basically, in this video, we're going to be talking about the automatic enrollment of 401k that they're trying to do to employers and employees. So basically, here's the problem. Back in the day, retirement savings in the United States were once thought of as a three-legged stool, right? So Americans had pension plans, Social Security benefits, and contribution plans like the 401k. So there was basically three-legged stool basically is your three sources of income when you retire. Unfortunately, the pension plans have gone the way of the dodo bird, and that started probably like the mid-1980s. You started seeing companies kind of phase away from the pension plans and start implementing the 401ks. Now, here's the problem with the 401k. Only 68% of private industry workers even have access to a 401k program. So not every company even offers a 401k. And now here's what's really interesting is only 50% of Americans even pay into a 401k that have access to it. And I've actually seen other reports that reported that statistic as lower. I saw 41% as well. So it's probably safe to say between 40 and 50% of Americans are even using a 401k, even taking advantage of that. So that's part of the problem. And this is the reason why the U.S. government is doing this, or trying to do this with this proposed bill. So here's what the bill is going to say. I'm going to read this to you right out of the article. You can read it for yourself below. So here's what they're going to try to do. It says, in what would be the largest change in the 401k program, the Secure 2.0 bill would require employers to automatically enroll all eligible workers into their 401k plans at a savings rate of 3% of the salary. Many employees currently have to opt in and then choose their contribution level. The new rule also applies to 403b, a similar program for employees of certain public and tax-exempt organizations. Enrolled workers' contribution rates would automatically, here's that word again, increase each year by 1% until their contribution levels reach 10% annually, while workers have the option to opt out of the plan or change their contribution level after they enroll. Automatically enrolling workers into these plans would make a huge change in younger and low-wage employees' participation in the program. So this is what's happening. The government Social Security system is failing. They don't know how to fix it. So they are going to propose in this new bill that I guess they would eventually try to sign into a law. They are going to propose that they are going to automatically enroll everybody into a 401k plan. Now, assuming every company is going to offer this, I don't know. That's going to be another problem. What if the company doesn't offer a 401k plan? How do you automatically enroll someone in that? So this sounds like another government mandate to me, but you guys can let me know in the comments below. Here we go again. You're going to be automatically enrolled. So this is what the government's trying to do. They want to automatically enroll you into this 401k plan to cover their ass because the Social Security system is failing, and by 2034, you are going to receive, people like me who would hopefully be retired by then, I would be receiving less money, less resources, less benefits if it's on the same trajectory it is now, because they're saying that the Social Security Trust Fund is running out. So this is the government's answer. Put in the comments below, do you think people should be automatically basically forced to enroll in a 401k program through their company? Now, it did say they do have the option to opt out, but you're going to be automatically enrolled into it. And then that means you have to pay attention to your pay stub and see that, hey, where's all this money coming out of my check? I didn't authorize this. I didn't say anybody could do this. I didn't want to enroll in this. So that's where you got to really pay attention to those pay stubs if this gets signed into law and they start automatically doing this, because you might want to use that money somewhere else. You might want to pay off debt with that money. You might want to enroll in maybe you have some different investment programs or different retirement programs that you want to use that money for. Whatever it may be, you got to really pay attention to what's going on over the next year. And if this bill gets signed into law, that's something that you really, really want to pay attention to. So that's the idea of this video. Put in the comments below, what do you guys think? Is this a good thing for our country and our employers? Is this a bad thing? This is basically the government's answer to help the younger. They want to help. The government wants to help you. They want to help the younger generation be able to retire, be able to have some savings, be able to have the opportunity to not be saddled with debt, and be able to retire one day. But the question is today is this a good thing to be automatically enrolled that the government's trying to do? Is this ultimately a good thing? Put it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. This should be an interesting conversation. And this should be a very interesting thing to follow over the next year. So according to the article, this was supposed to be the goal. I think they're trying to get this implemented by the end of the year, which would be 2022. So we'll see what happens. We'll follow this. And then if it does become a reality, maybe I'll do a follow-up video on that as well. So until next time, this is Jason Brown saying thank you so much for watching. I love doing money videos. If you want to subscribe and support me, I would appreciate that. Also, of course, you can comment or like the video. And if you want to stick around, there should be a couple more money-related videos pop up on the screen below if YouTube does its job like they always do. And if you want to learn more about the books I've written or blogs or other videos I've done, you can check out my website. I'll put it up on the screen. It's yourmarginmatters.com. And until next time, thank you so much. And remember my favorite saying, it's not the amount of money you make, but the margin that matters the most. See you next time.